So Jon Stewart apparently doesn't like the Magas who are against war for some reason. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Jon Stewart of The Daily Show still. I thought he was retired. I guess he came back. Trevor Noah didn't work out. Anyway, I digress. He apparently is attacking quote-unquote MAGA Republican influencers for not being on board with the potential war with Iran. We all know what's happening with Iran. Israel hit him. Iran's hitting back. There's a bunch of back and forth. Trump said a few things like, hey, they wanted to go ahead and ice the supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, which would have been a big mistake. But they wanted to do it. He vetoed it. Some say we're involved. Some say we're not involved. Some say we should be. Some say we shouldn't be. Before I get to what Jon Stewart said, let me be crystal clear. I don't want to be involved with this war. Now, if we are involved with it, then what are we going to do? But I'm telling you right now, I don't want to be involved with this war, with that war, or any other wars. One of the reasons I voted for Trump the first time in 2016 and in 2020 and in 2024 is because he, in my humble opinion, was the most anti-war candidate that had a realistic chance to win. So if we go to war with Iran, especially since Israel started it, that'd be a really bad thing. But Jon Stewart, who is Jewish, and I'm not trying to be anti-Semitic, don't nobody flag me, but maybe he wants us to get in a war with Iran because it may serve his interests. I don't really know. I'm just guessing. But before I go any further, let's get into the actual clip. Of course, I will link to the entire clip in the description in case you want to see it or hear it without my commentary. If you're on Facebook, IG, etc., visit the link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Perhaps the reason why the president is being cagey about all this is because not all of the Maga are embracing Netanyahu's bomb fetishes.
We cannot be inexorably dragged into a war in the Middle East.
We put America first, and that means American interests first.
All right, so let's pause for a minute because copyright, who we're seeing so far, we got Steve Bannon, and now we got Jack Posobiec. Let's keep on rocking and rolling.
Our MAGA base, they do not.
And here go Charlie Kirk. Shout out to Charlie.
Not want the United States to be engaged in this.
I don't know anyone that wakes up and thinks about bombing Iran.
They're booing Marjorie Taylor Greene. That's crazy. The crowd's booing her. That's hilarious. So are you booing her or are you booing what she said, which was, we don't want to get involved in war? How are you going to boo someone who says you don't want to get involved in war? That should be a universal rallying cry, but I guess it's not.
She doesn't know anyone who wakes up and thinks about bombing Iran. I got to tell you. I don't think she knows anyone who wakes up and thinks. But credit. I enjoyed that.
This is why I'm kind of slow to give a guy like Jon Stewart any kind of credit, because sometimes he'll say things that I like, but ultimately I know he's an actor and he'll just say whatever needs to be said in the moment to achieve a certain goal.
But you know what? I'm going to say this. This may surprise some people. Credit where credit is due. I certainly have tremendous policy and, in some instances, space laser differences with these folks. But I applaud any group that is steadfast in a diplomacy-first posture.
Okay, there we go. We're making, okay, I like that, what he said. That's a very good point. But I feel like there's a but coming.
The only problem with their posture that I see with it is their reluctance to commit America's military to fighting drawn-out and often pointless wars doesn't seem to extend to America.
President Trump should fully deploy the military in the streets. Take back the streets of LA.
Come on. You're going to compare a fight like a potential nuclear holocaust for the whole world with civil unrest in the USA, riots and whatnot. And if we're going to send National Guard, police, whatever, to the streets to get it under control, that's not trying to engage in war. That's just trying to keep our streets safe.
Do it and do it fast.
Huh? Doesn't want to be in Iran. He wants to be in LA. He doesn't want to deploy the military overseas. He wants to save the military for the real threat, us. He's not being hypocritical, just fucking mind-blowing.
Come on, bro. This right here is a crazy reach. Go Gadget reach. Shout out Inspector Gadget.
MAGA mindset appears to be, we didn't vote for foreign wars. We voted for civil war.
This is a war. The battle for America was going to take place in Los Angeles. The only way to win here is to double and triple down.
The current war that we are seeing waged by the Democrats, by the foreign nationals waving Mexican flags.
The city of Los Angeles is an occupied city. It is time to retake the cities of this country.
This is a crazy reach, bro. We're just trying to, like, really, you know what? Actually, what you said, Jon Stewart, is a little bit right. It's a little bit right. You see, I did not vote for foreign intervention. I voted for America first. So if we have problems here, let's fix our problems. And I would think that days, weeks, potentially months long riots, occupation and whatnot in America are more important than any kind of foreign affairs. That's what I would think. So yes, actually, you're kind of right. Although the way you're trying to make it be, the way you're trying to make that comparison is not a true comparison.
This country, it is time to use force.
What the f***? They are looking for any pretense. They are looking for any pretense to sick their robot dogs on Democrats. And the strategy that they're using is to inflate the threat that this country now faces.
Y'all on the left downplay the threat. You guys say things like fiery but mostly peaceful protests. It'll be gunshots, bottles breaking, people screaming in the background, dogs barking, all that kind of stuff. And you'll say, oh, it's no problem. It's mostly festive. Y'all downplay it. And then when we say, hey, don't you see that neighborhood on fire? Don't you see them little kids getting shot at? Don't you see all that? You'll say that we're just exaggerating and we're just looking for an excuse to sick the so-called robot dogs on y'all. That's what's going on here, Jon Stewart. This is really pathetic from you. Like, I expect this kind of talk from the left, but this is low even for them.
To so rile up their base as to make the left in this country, represented by over 75 million votes in the past presidential election, as a legitimate military target for the United States of America. It's a strategy that's been used before to gin up military conflict.
All right, there we go. So that's the actual clip right there. Again, Jon Stewart on The Daily Show. I thought you had retired, bro. I thought you were doing the podcast and whatnot. You know, a little Zoom podcast. I thought Trevor Noah took over, but maybe I'm out of the loop from liberal television, which I don't watch. But as I close, I want to say this. That was a crazy reach. Jon Stewart, I mean, hey, nice try, but no cigar. We are focused on American issues. If we have crime, violence, drugs, etc. in our country, we got to take care of that because we are citizens of this country. We have to live here. You guys over in Los Angeles, living in the hills, ivory towers, you're not actually out on the streets with us every single day, having to live and work and operate. You guys are not there. So it doesn't really affect you, but it affects us. So you think it's not really a big deal, but we think it is. That's why, in part, we voted for Donald Trump to focus on American issues. A guy like Jon Stewart wouldn't mind the war in Iran happening and us getting involved while neglecting our streets. Or at least that's what it seems like from what he just said right there. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your opinion about what Jon Stewart said? Do you think he's on point, off point, somewhere in between? Don't really care, do care, whatever your thoughts are. Let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. This is typical for leftists to do this. This is what they do all the time. And I don't understand why they don't understand why we don't like it, why we don't like them. Furthermore, it's not about trying to attack you guys on the left. It's not about that. Because most normies are not going to be out there acting the fool on the street. But some people are, regardless of what they are, what color they are, what political affiliation, it doesn't matter. We got to stop that kind of stuff from happening because if we don't, it'll just wage on and on and on and the cities will fall. Meanwhile, we're worried about foreign conflicts. Okay, can we get a hold of what's happening right here? How are we going to be the police of the world and assist the whole world and be the guardian angel of the entire planet, of the whole universe? Meanwhile, our country's on fire. It makes no sense at all. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.